This video is about living in retirement. I'm going to share with you things that you can do to enjoy your retirement life more. The very first thing that I'm going to say is turn off your alarm clock. After years, decades of having that alarm go off and telling us we need to get up and go to the office or go to our office at home if you're working from home, it can feel just totally wrong to turn off the alarm and allow yourself to sleep in. My mother would not turn off her alarm until she was in her mid-80s, and I convinced her that it was time for her to turn off her alarm. You just don't have to get up and be anywhere at any certain time most of the time when you're in retirement. Now, yes, of course, there are some exceptions to this, and that's not always the case. But for most people, when you don't have to be someplace, allow yourself to turn off the alarm and let the light wake you up, or let your body wake you up naturally. You'll be more rested, you'll feel better, you'll get the sleep that you need. And I'll touch on this more a little bit later in the video. The second good retirement living habit is to exercise daily. When we're working, it can be really easy to work an exercise routine into our day, either before work or after work, or maybe even during your lunch hour. But what can happen in retirement is you feel like you have all this free time, and you do, but the free time can easily get filled with things that are not that important, at least certainly not as important as your health and getting exercise daily. So commit to continuing to exercise daily. If you haven't exercised while you've been working, great. You'll have plenty of time so that you can exercise daily now. The third retirement living tip is one that I use, and it's to keep a set of handheld weights in your den. When I'm watching a movie at night or a documentary at night, I can just pick up my weights and do the routine that I learned in my bar class, and it makes it so easy. I do handheld weights. I don't have a weight machine. I did in my younger years, but I don't now. But I do think it's really great to do handheld weights for so many reasons. And by keeping them right there, I don't have to stop what I'm doing or remember it during the day. There's absolutely no excuse for me to not do my handheld weights. So just buy a set, keep them right where you can see them. That's very important, where you can see them when you're watching a movie or television, assuming that you do participate in that indulgence. And get busy with your handheld weights. It only takes a few minutes to do it, and it can have a huge impact on your well-being. The fourth tip for retirement living is to use a password protector. This is so important for so many reasons. It keeps your account safe, it can keep your assets safe, but it also keeps your sanity safe. You can set up a password protector where you can use it on your phone so that it's easy for you to log into your accounts from your phone or multiple devices. You can set it up where you can share passwords with family members. Not only that, a password protector will assign a really, really long encrypted password that I would never, ever assign myself. And it will automatically assign that and store it for you, and you can access it from any device. So invest in a password protector. There are some free ones. You can research it. Right now, I'm using 1Password. There are numerous password protectors. I want to share one tip with you. Being a financial coach, I've just got to say this. One thing I do not put in my password protector are the account logins for my brokerage accounts. I keep those instead still on a little piece of paper on my board in my office, and I don't put that in my password protector. So I would discourage you from doing that, because password protectors have been hacked. So anything's extremely sensitive, I like to look at it this way. If it would like totally wipe us out if it happened, then I won't do it. So there are a few things in life that come that way. And one of them is if someone hacked into one of our brokerage accounts. The next retirement living tip is to have at least one hobby that encourages movement. We all probably have at least one hobby, period, but have one that encourages movement. And examples of this are things like gardening or kayaking. I'm throwing out a couple things that I love to do. I love walking my dog and or hiking. There's so many things that you can do that encourage movement. And it's exercise, but it doesn't feel like exercise, especially when you're doing gardening. And recently I was pulling up all these trees that have sprouted in our flower beds over the years, and they're invasive trees, and I had to pull them up and dig them up and use my bear puller to pull them up. And it was an incredible workout. And I was thinking, who needs a gym when I can do this? So there are many hobbies that require movement. Golf, tennis, even fishing requires a little bit of movement. Think of something that requires movement and add it into your retirement life. If there's anything I'm talking about here that you want me to talk more about or make a video about, please leave that in the comments section. I want to talk about things that you, my viewers, want to hear about, and I would love to hear from you if there is anything that I'm touching on that you want me to talk more about in another video. The next retirement living tip relates to finances, and that is to simply have a plan B. Having a plan B it can be just a real salvation if things don't go as you had planned with your financial retirement plan. And the plan B can turn things around for you. It can really change things. There are so many different things that you can do in retirement to turn things around if they don't go as planned. We're led to believe, everything I hear in the media is all about, you have to save this X amount of money by the time you're 65 and make these, rigid retirement withdrawals, and that is the most popular plan. But there are so many alternatives that you can do to that plan if something happens that deters you from your plan and you can clearly see it's no longer working. I've done another video called 5 retirement strategies. Take a look at that. I touch on all the different solutions for if you don't have enough money or if things happen and they don't work out as planned. So have a plan B so that you can live happily and more at peace. When I have a plan B, I'm just not worried about things. I'm like, okay, well, if this doesn't happen, I know I can do this. So think about this. Do the research you need to do. Learn what you need to learn. Have a plan B. The next retirement living tip is to allow yourself to relax. We become conditioned to just go, go, go all the time when we're working and living and maybe raising a family. And it can feel wrong or very, very hard to relax. So allow yourself the gift of relaxation. Allow yourself just to relax. The next retirement living tip, though, is don't relax too much. Don't relax so much that your life becomes unmeaningful to you. Find the balance there. Allow some relaxation, but don't let everything go just because you've retired. Because, well, it can slip up on you, and then your life feels unmeaningful, and you feel like you're not accomplishing anything. And sometimes accomplishment is just being happy and having relationships. But I know for me, it's also about being productive and feeling like I'm continuing to grow as a person. Whether that's spiritually or emotionally or learning new skills. I still love learning new skills, and I like to keep marketable skills. That's part of my plan B as well. But find that right balance for relaxation in your retirement living. The next retirement living tip is to simply entertain the possibility of peaking in retirement. Again, as I touched on, there's all this conditioning and all this news that we hear and information we hear about working, really improving ourselves up to age whenever it is we retire. It used to be 65, whether you're retiring at 50 or 55 or 60 or 65 or earlier or later, whenever it is. But there's all this focus on being the best you can be and earning the most you can and being the best and most you can be and doing the best and most that you can. And we lose sight of the fact that maybe our best is yet to come. Maybe we're going to peak in retirement. Maybe the best thing that will happen to us, either from any different, angle, could happen in retirement. So entertain that idea. Allow yourself to entertain that idea and think of peaking in retirement. It's hopeful. It spurs increased happiness and fulfillment, I think, when we think about the possibility of peaking in retirement. Those are the retirement living tips I wanted to share with you in this video. If you haven't retired yet, retire certain. And if you have, well, live a good life in retirement.